What's up everybody, welcome back. In this video lesson I'm going to be talking about how to play over the bridge to Stompin at the Savoy. And before I dive into the chords, I want to just briefly touch on the concept of tritone substitution. Now this is a whole topic for another video, but just to mention it briefly, tritone substitution is a very simple form of substitution where you take a dominant chord and you keep the third and seventh the same, but you change the root for the note, which is a tritone or a flattened fifth or a sharpened fourth, they're the same thing, away. So for C7, a tritone sub for that would be G flat 7, because that's C to G flat is the interval of a tritone, or flattened fifth. So that means that in a resolving dominant situation, you'd usually have C7 to F. Instead we have G flat 7 to F. So when you tritone sub a chord, you end up with a dominant which is a semitone above the destination chord. So you end up with this. So that's what's going on in the bridge of Stompin at the Savoy. You have F7 in this key. We're doing it in C. It's usually in D flat, but this is in C. We have F7 to G flat 7 to F7. So that G flat is a tritone sub. And I'm going to be touching on a few licks that you can play over tritone substitution chords later on in this video. The underlying structure of the bridge is actually a sequence of resolving dominants with embellishments. So if you start with F7, and we're going to ignore that G flat 7 for now, then we go to B flat 7. So that is a dominant tonic relationship there. So that's like 5, 1. And then again, B flat to E flat is like another 5, 1. E flat 7 to A flat 7 is another 5, 1. And then, remember what I said about tritone substitution being a dominant, a semitone above? We have A flat 7 to G 7. So that's another resolution. So we have this being the underlying bass movement. And of course that G7 then resolves to C. So we have a series of dominants that are a chain that lead into one another, leading to C major. Now, there are some extra little embellishments here, and two of them are tritone substitutions. So you have F7 to G flat 7 and back again, and then B flat 7. And this F minus 7 is just like the 2 of a 2-5. So this is not tritone substitution. And then we have E flat 7, tritone sub to E7, back down again. Then the A flat 7, and then the G7. So of course you can try out some of your 2-5-1 language over this tune. Remember that you can always play a short 2-5-1 lick, that is one that lasts 2 beats on the 2 chord, 2 beats on the 5 chord. You can always play that over a whole bar of a dominant 7, because the 2 and the 5 chord share a lot of notes. If you've been practicing something like, which would be a classic 2-5-1 lick in E flat, you could play that over the B flat 7 leading to E flat. My first suggestion to practicing this is to ignore those extra little embellishment chords, so the 2 tritone substitutions and the F minus 7, and play each of those as a little bluesy dominant thing, because those tritone subs are can be seen as just a colour shift, but you're still very much in the world of F. So I'm going to demonstrate playing over that and playing F bluesy stuff over that chord, then B flat bluesy stuff, then E flat bluesy stuff, then A flat bluesy stuff, then G bluesy stuff. The second practice approach I have is to learn a few licks that work well on tritone substitutions and put them in place over the tune. So I've written out a few licks, and the most common one, which is definitely a cliche, is a lovely little lick. And just to demonstrate, I'm going to show using that lick on the 3 spots where you can use it for a tritone substitution on this. So that's over the G flat 7, going to the F7, and over the E7, going to E flat 7, and A flat 7, going to G7. So take those bits of language I've written and try them out for yourself. I'll just run them through briefly. So the first one is, the second one, third one, and fourth one. Have fun with those. And the last approach I have to practicing on this is similar in a way to the playing changes video I recently did. It's about taking little cells and putting them over the tune in the correct places. So, first thing is you could take your arpeggios and go root to 7. Etc. You could also do that going third up to root, etc. I've written a few other cells, so you could do it descending, root down to third, or you could do 7 down to root. I've written a couple of other little licks that incorporate a bit of that bluesy thing. So starting on the flat third and then going up to the major third, and then incorporating some of the dominant chord tones. So that's a nice thing to play over a dominant chord. Now bear in mind that this won't work in the same way. I wouldn't play it over F7 and then over G flat 7. Like I said, those chords are embellishments to the key center of the moment. So it's like F, B flat, E flat, A flat, G. So I'd treat those little bluesy dominant things as pertaining to the primary dominant chord. So I'll demonstrate using those. So I hope that was useful for you. If you have any questions, do get in touch via the Facebook group. Good luck everyone. Bye bye.